Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kavanaugh's Corner. I'm Andrew Kavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to us here on the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the two MacGyver TV movies that came out in 1994. Funny enough, I actually remember when these aired when I was 4 years old. I might even watched one of them. And I even have my 90s collarless shirt going on today, so this is kind of interesting. But it's an interesting look. I almost look like a priest or something. That's kind of weird. But anyway, I want to talk about these two because the MacGyver review series would not be complete without them. In this box set actually behind me here actually contained both of them, so I was lucky enough to see them because they're actually kind of hard to come by. They were hard to come by for a few years until this set came out, so it's kind of neat. The first one I want to talk about is the one that aired first. It's called The Lost Treasure of Atlantis. And again, this is again another deal where MacGyver kind of becomes Indiana Jones. I think it's interesting to note as well that neither one of these TV movies acknowledged the fact that MacGyver had a son at the end of the last season. They just kind of totally ignore that and just put MacGyver in these adventures again. I kind of like Lost Treasure of Atlantis. I think it's actually an entertaining TV movie. It's only about like an hour and a half long or something, but it does kind of play out like a 2-hour episode of season like 5 or 6. Is that a good thing? Kind of, not really. It does have somewhat more of a budget, I think, than those later seasons of the show. But again, it's another episode that, MacGyver kind of gets to be creative, but in the end just kind of ends up becoming like an Indiana Jones clone, which is too bad because I like seeing MacGyver be creative and get out of situations. Happens a few times in this I'm saying episode because it does feel like an episode of MacGyver, but in this TV movie. But again, you get into that trope where MacGyver gets locked in the room with somebody and they got to get out of it, and that happens again even in this thing. So again, not the greatest writing in the world, but it was better than most of the 6th and 7th seasons of the show. I did like the fact that there were some really cool looking sets in this TV movie. I thought that the idea of what they were going after was kind of interesting. They filmed it on location in certain places around the world, so I thought that was nice as well. In the end, I liked the fact that MacGyver seemed to be interested in what was going on in this episode. Richard Dean Anderson, again I said episode, TV movie, see I'm too used to saying episodes, but Richard Dean Anderson seems to be having a pretty good time in this TV movie. I thought it was interesting to see him kind of come back to the role after a few years and get right back into it. It looked like he hadn't lost a step, which was nice. The hair, however, has gotten even longer at this point, and it's so crazy. It's not even a mullet at this point. He just basically has like a women's hairdo at this point, but that's what he was known for, so he kept it, which was nice. Again, he does a good job. There are some kind of funny moments in this. Overall, there's nothing to write home about. I thought it was an interesting TV movie that had some decent acting in it, some kind of funny moments. Overall, though, it was just basically a longer episode from like season 5 or 6. It kind of felt like that. Did I like it? Yeah, I think it's worth watching. It's a little waste of time. You probably instantly forget about it once it's over, but I liked it. I thought it was great. Other than that, nothing too crazy. I give it like a 3.5 out of 5 just because it was more entertaining than most of the episodes that were in the last couple seasons of the show, so I like that. The second movie, however, that came out I think later that year was called Trail to Doomsday. MacGyver Trail to Doomsday is the full title. And this episode, again I'm saying episode, this TV movie was a very big change. This one here is a mix of like a murder mystery and some kind of plot going on that MacGyver is trying to uncover. The actual episode starts with like the murder of MacGyver's friend. MacGyver's actually in London, and his buddy is killed in this like ambush, like terrorist shooting. It's really serious stuff. There are some very dark moments in this movie that even I was shocked by. And to be honest with you, the whole movie is very downbeat. It's not very much like anything of the TV series, except for a few episodes here and there that dealt with some serious topics. But there are really no light moments throughout the entirety of this movie. There's some really violent stuff, too. A lot of people getting shot. MacGyver is suspect of a murder. I mean, it's some serious stuff. Like I said earlier, it was filmed on location in London, which I thought was nice because you really do get the London atmosphere. The problem is, it's very gloomy when they shot this movie, and I'm talking very gloomy through most of the movie. A lot of it takes place at night. There's a lot of dark locations. At one point, MacGyver finds himself in a sewer. It is really, really dark and dank looking. I kind of enjoy parts of it, but it's a chore to get through. Also, the mystery aspect of the story is kind of interesting. I like to see MacGyver kind of play detective. I thought that was an interesting take. Overall, though, I thought the ending of it really ruined the movie. They really tried to bring it back into like MacGyver territory at the end, where MacGyver has to disarm a bomb at the end of it. And the way he disarms the bomb, I'm not going to spoil it in case you want to see it, but the way he disarms the bomb is so totally ridiculous. And he is given everything that he needs to disarm this bomb. And if there wasn't one item that he just somehow had laying around, he would have never been able to disarm that bomb. And the fact that that item was in the area that it was is so ridiculous. There's no way that would have happened in the area that he's in. To have that one item that he needed it's a stretch. It's a major stretch, and I just can't. I couldn't buy into it. And there are other episodes of MacGyver where that happens, where he just so happens to have exactly what he needs in a locked room to get out of it. Again, really poor writing, and that's what we got with this, was really, really poor writing. And I just did not like it very much. It's a stretch. I liked the mystery aspect of it, but I really didn't like the fact that it was a very dark and depressing movie. I didn't like, that the fact that Richard Dean Anderson really didn't look like he was having a good time making this thing. He seemed like he was having a better time doing, the Atlantis movie. This here, he just looked like he was bored out of his mind and kind of depressed, and to be honest with you, so was I after watching it. So sadly, I can't give Trail to Doomsday a very good review. I have to give it like a 2.5 out of 5. Again, it's the last time we got to see Richard Dean Anderson play the character of MacGyver, unless you count the Super Bowl commercial from a few years back. It's like a credit card commercial or something. But this is kind of the last time we got to see Richard Dean Anderson as that character, which is too bad because he really did a great job as that character through the years. Even when the show stunk, he was very watchable, and that's the one thing I can take away from watching all 7 seasons and the 2 movies of the show, is that Richard Dean Anderson is a very entertaining actor. He is an incredible actor with a lot of range. He can do very serious stuff, he can do very funny stuff, and he can pull off action, which is something that a lot of other actors that did TV shows in the 80s can't say, is that the man could do action and you believed it was him. Also, he did a lot of his stunts on the earlier seasons of the show. So, Richard Dean Anderson, if you're somehow watching this, I just want to tell you, you are amazing, you're an awesome actor. I wish I could see you in more stuff. I really, really love watching you. Even in Stargate SG-1, you were amazing for many years on that show. And we look forward to seeing you in more stuff. Do more stuff, Richard. Please, get involved in more stuff. We love you. And that's basically all I have for MacGyver at this point. Next time you see me, I'll be talking about something else. So the MacGyver series is over now. Did I love the show? Yeah, I still like the show, even though the last couple seasons are not as good as where it started from. That happens with most shows. This show, obviously the writing took a very, very heavy change near the end. But overall, MacGyver is a wonderful piece of 80s nostalgia, and even for me, 90s nostalgia. I love the show. I love the characters of the show. I like some of them, not all of them, but the character of MacGyver is one that's going to live on for many years, and thanks to this new reboot, I hope he will live on to a whole new generation. CBS, don't screw this up. You got a lot of fans watching. Thank you again for watching. My name is Andrew Kavanaugh. I appreciate you coming back and watching this series. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.